to stand up strong, think the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also, my headset's messed up. I'm only getting it out of one ear. Testing. I'm only getting the sound out of my left ear, not both ears.
It might have just broken or something.
What?
The cable may have just broken or something.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am JLP Pearson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. I can't do the show today in my headset. Sorry, folks. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. That's 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. My brand new biblical question. Well, it's not new now. It's Friday. But the biblical question for this week is a doozy. What is evil? What is evil? What is evil? Amazing, huh? And again, these questions are put there to encourage you to think for yourself, to know that you know that you know, and not because I or someone else said it. What you might not realize, well, no, not might not. Most human beings today, because it hasn't always been this way, most human beings today don't know that they already know the truth and that the truth is inside of them and they know it already and that they, oh, that's so much better. And that they knew it at one time, but they forgot. That's it. They forgot the truth. But when you start to work on yourself, you start to remember the truth. And the truth ain't your truth. You hear these people, oh, my truth. What your truth? You ain't got no truth. What the? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JessieLeePeterson.com/show. JessieLeePeterson.com/show. And if you are out and about, busy, doing whatever it is that you're doing, and wherever you are in the world, because we are heard around the world by everybody and they mama. Everybody and they mama if you're black. Everybody and their mama if you're white. So you could be listening to the show on your iPhone, iPad, no matter what you're doing, working now or whatever. You could be listening to the show. You can podcast, of course, but you can be listening, of course, by going to the listen line on TalkStream Live and calling 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buy me a coffee. buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. It's Friday. And once upon a time, Fridays were open line Friday. And we still take all calls, no matter what. We take all calls. That has not changed. But I've been accused of, for a long time, of not loving black people and that I'm not helping black people. But I love the blacks. Really. I love the blacks. And so just as I wish well for all people, because in all honesty, the problem is the same for all people. It's no different. It's just that some people are working on themselves, they're starting to overcome, and they can see what's going on, whereas most are not. And I've come to realize that the blacks need help with this, of overcoming themselves. So Fridays now, starting last Friday, and from this day forward, and we take all calls, we're not turning any calls away, but Friday is, and will always be, let it be written, let it be known, let it be said. Friday is Black Friday.
Black Friday.
Black Friday.
We got everything locked up. The California I grew up in as a little boy no longer exists.
Black Friday.
This item, resembling a noose, sparked outrage in Allentown when it was reportedly found on a city worker's desk in January. On Monday, police say they believe the person who found it put it there.
It's a lot like Black Friday.
Amazing, huh? Out with the old and in with the new, nothing but destruction. The good old days, you saw the good old days, right? The anchor man put that together. Amazing job. Out with the old and bring in the nothing but hell. And I want you to know, and without a doubt, I have zero doubt. Now, I know that I have zero doubt, and I know that angry people always blame someone else for the way they feel, what they can and cannot do, and that life is difficult because of somebody else. And then they bring up the past. The blacks got this bad. And what you saw in the video there, in the good old days, black people were normal. You saw it, right? They dressed normally, they acted normal. They treat each other and all people in the way that they would like to be treated. The men and women, husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriends, fathers and mothers and daughters, and fathers and sons and daughters got along for the most part. And then they went out. And this is what you have now. I want you to know, to the blacks and to all people, but to the blacks because they're not being told the truth about what their problems are. To the blacks, you have one problem and one problem only. Only one. One problem and one problem only. I've said over and over again that our battle in life, and it's so deep, I don't know how to explain it. Our problem in life is a spiritual problem. It's not physical at all. It's zero physical. It's 100% spiritual. It is a warfare between good and evil. It has nothing to do with another person. The evil is inside of you, and it's disrupting your life. The evil is called anger, which is hatred, which is playing God, which is lostness. And it makes you think, and then it's confirmed by other evil people outside of you that it's somebody else. You even bring up slavery as the problem. You even bring up black people don't have the same opportunities as the problem. You even bring up black people don't have money. White people pass down the money to their family. Black people didn't have the money. All lies. Because you're angry. The problem with the blacks, and not all, but most now, because some blacks are starting to hear the message of forgiveness, that their problems are within themselves and no one else. And they're starting to wake up. Black men and women, I deal with them every day. They didn't know. They just didn't know because they had been lied to. Black people problem is that they are very, very angry. But they have been told that their anger is toward injustice and the white man and slavery and Jim Crow and so everything but what it is. I promise you, and without a doubt, I have no doubt, really, I don't even have to think about it. I don't have to wonder about it. Black people angry are coming directly from their mothers and grandmothers. And the blacks are so mean and nasty and loudmouth and disrespectful to themselves and others and revengeful. They get a high thrill, which is a low, out of attacking themselves and other people, but especially others. It's a thrill to be disrespectful and then try to hurt others. Really, that's all they care about, nothing else. Even hurting their own children, if they have children. Their friends, their family members, their workers, their bosses, if they live in somebody else's home, apartment building, or whatever, they don't care about hurting the owner of the building. They don't care about not paying the rent. They don't care about not keeping it up because of the anger. The spirit of anger, and it is a spirit, is pure evil because it's hatred. And that anger disrupts everything about your life. It makes you think life is impossible. And it makes you think that somebody else is your problem. And it's just not true. The unfortunate thing is that the blacks have been given permission to be angry, and especially the black female. The black female, until she's working on herself to overcome, is the most nasty, vicious, heartless, no love, ego-driven human being on earth today. On earth today. And the black men are no better, but not quite as bad. They're still bad, and they're vicious, and they act like the black woman, their mothers. They have her mindset and her emotions, and in that state, they're vicious too. They don't lead the way. They don't tell you how to overcome anything. They attack you. They don't try to understand. They're not the light, which they were supposed to be. And the black children, male and female, the black women have not had men to guide them. And they are out of control, because the liberals, white liberals, have given them permission, the black female, to be nothing but evil, loudmouth, nasty, out of control. And I have said to white Americans, in the good old days, you could have had blacks in government, in your business, and it would have been perfect. It would have been fine. Because in the good old days, prior to the last 70 to 80 years, black people were totally different than they are today. So it hasn't always been that the way it is today. Black people would not be cursing you out or cursing in the public like that or revengeful and just nasty, heartless, don't care people in the good old days, but they're that way today. And to the blacks, we're doing Black Friday because we love you, and we love the blacks. I love the blacks. And I'm trying to tell you, encourage you, do what you want though. You, as an individual, need to start working on your spiritual self. Inwardly, you're wicked, you're evil, and you cannot be trusted. You cannot be trusted. I have said to white Americans, and for the last 35 years now, you are making a horrible mistake not standing up to the blacks. Standing up meaning be honest with them. Tell them, I'm not your problem. What's wrong with you? I got my own life I got to deal with. I have my own family I got to deal with if they have a family. I got to go to work. I got to work hard. I have to get my education. I'm not thinking about you. But they believe that white people are thinking about them because that's what anger does. Anger deceives you. It makes you look on the outside and not within. Because anger is the deceiver. Anger turns your life upside down. And so I've been telling the white people for 35 years, why don't you just speak up? Don't be afraid. Because the blacks are angry and they have no caring about anybody or anything, not even themselves or their own family or anybody. And they will destroy you when they see that you're afraid of them. Because even in marriages, when the husband is afraid of the wife, doesn't the wife destroy him? Or the wife is afraid of the husband. Doesn't the husband destroy the wife? He's brutal to her. Either way, when they see that you're weak because of that anger, and anger is a wicked spirit, it has no life. It sucks the life out of other people. It's death, but they call it life. It will destroy you. And white people are being destroyed by the blacks. Because the white people won't say no, and it's only going to get worse. I'm telling white people then, now, and I've told you beforehand, do not put these blacks in your companies, in your government, in your schools. Because of their angry mentality, they're only going to destroy it. They're never going to make it better. I want to get, but the whites didn't listen. And they have allowed the blacks to be in government. They have turned over their companies to the blacks, especially the black woman. And nothing but hell is happening in government and in white businesses and everything. Black people can't even start their own businesses. They need affirmative action. They need reparation, and the business still don't work. And they can't do business in their own communities because other blacks won't let it work. They'll come in, they'll rob them, they'll steal from them, they'll curse them out, they'll destroy the business because of the anger that comes from their mothers. But the whites don't listen due to fear. Due to fear. Fear is your enemy. It's an illusion, but it's your enemy because it stops you from functioning. There's no love in it. And if you don't have love, you have nothing. Zero. Money ain't love. Where you live ain't love. You got to drop the anger. It disrupts everything about your life. And you don't even know it because you're so accustomed to living that way. You think that's normal to live that way because everybody angry. They say. And then the Christians are so pitiful. Oh, God bless the Christian. Jesus was angry. I got righteous anger. No, you don't. You stupid idiot. You ain't got no righteous anger. You don't even know what that is. But the devil makes you think you do, and you make up reasons to stay angry. I have said to the whites, don't let the blacks in your government. I remember when the fallen Messiah, Barack Obama, and Big Mama Michelle was running for president. I said, no, they will turn America into a ghetto. Look what happened. It turned out that I was right. America has not been the same since. You're more divided now than ever, even though the Great White Hope is working and trying to put it back together. But I don't know if it's going to work because you got to change a person's heart. And most blacks are not ready for a change of heart. That would be like too much freedom. They're accustomed to blaming and feeling bad and going after other people, yelling and screaming and fighting. They love to fight. Black people love to fight. If you don't get them a fight, they're like, what the? Here's an example why white people should not let the blacks into their government. This is from WKRN. State Senator, quote unquote, Jason Pearson, a Democrat from Memphis, Tennessee. Have you noticed that most blacks are Democrats? Because they're angry. In the Democratic Party, there's nothing but destruction. And then they have allowed the blacks, especially the black females, to take over the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party cannot, will not, ain't not going to come back. It can't because the people in it, you put disruptive people in it to make sure it is destroyed. But anyway, Jason Pierce, a Democrat from Memphis, confronts a fellow state representative, Andrew Farmer. He is a Republican from Severico, whatever. After a back and a forth between the two turned personal during a committee meeting. White people, you are never going to be able to have a normal back and forth conversation with a black. It ain't going to happen. And you let them in your government, there's no such thing as debating an issue, speaking your mind and disagreeing with them without them getting mad and wanting to fight. They don't get mad. They want to fight. They do it to each other and they'll do it to anyone else. So according to WKRN, Pearson presented a bill to end permitless carries of firearms in Tennessee. And according to this report, Pearson had been away from the Tennessee state capitol due to his brother, quote unquote, suicide late last year. Watch this from WREG News.
It's not the kind of showdown you'd expect in a legislative chamber. But today, politics turned personal in Tennessee. Democratic Representative Justin Pearson hasn't been back to the Capitol since his brother's suicide in December, returning with even more passion behind his bill to end the permitless carry of firearms in Tennessee.
We have the power to do something about the gun violence epidemic, and we don't just have to offer some empty thoughts and prayers. We can do something, and now is the time to do it.
But after Pearson called out a Republican for trying to end the debate, another Republican called out Pearson.
I know every member in this committee's been here this year working during committee, during session, voting on bills.
Yes, sir.
And I know you may have some things going on, but you have not. So I don't think it's fair for you to come in front of this committee and lecture us on hard work and convictions and hard work for our committee.
Nice. Amazing. So the guy been out of work for 3 months. According to Wikipedia, 3 months ago, that suicide, and he hasn't been back to work. Almost 4 months. It was December 1, 2024 when this happened, when he came back. What the world he been doing? Lawmakers rejected the bill, and Pearson confronted the Representative Farmer over his comments, defending his committee hard work this year. Watch this.
Thank you, Chair Doggett, and thank you, Chair Farmer, for your comments. They incense me. They make me very, very angry. I buried my brother. I planned for his entire funeral. My fiance made his obituary. I made sure that he was taken care of, even in death. That's what I've been doing.
The committee chairman trying to regain control, cutting off Pearson's mic. That didn't stop him.
That's what you need to think about, Chairman Farmer.
When lawmakers killed the bill,
Mr. Chairman, you have 2 ayes, 7 nays.
everything came to a head.
22 fails.
Lawmakers physically restraining Pearson while Farmer stares the other way.
See that? The blacks want to fight. There's no such thing as having a normal debate and disagreement with a black. They're angry. Listen to this guy. So he been at home. His brother committed, according to him, I guess, in this report, committed suicide with a gun. And now everybody got to have a permit for a gun because his brother committed suicide with a gun. It's not the gun fault that his brother committed suicide with a gun. We're going to ban all knives when the people kill themselves, or cars and everything. So you want to ban the gun because your brother took his own life with a gun. That doesn't even make sense. And so you've been at home planning his funeral along with the girlfriend, and that doesn't mean the government got to agree with him just because he been at home burying his brother who committed suicide. That's his brother's problem. It ain't the gun problem. And everybody in the state of Kentucky, Louisiana, Tennessee should have to lose the right to carry their own gun without a permit because somebody took their own life, or some weak person took their own life. What is that? That doesn't even make sense. And he's up there and now he want to fight. He's not just arguing or disagreeing. He want to fight. That is black. And you allow these people into your government. White people are not accustomed to all this. White people, they do argue and they disagree and they yell, but they ain't going to get up in your face to want to fight you because they disagree. But the blacks will, because their anger runs deep, and it has not been corrected for nearly 80 years now. And that anger has grown generation after generation after generation. And in their minds, because they've been told that it's the white man that make them feel this way, it's the white man's fault for this situation, they hate the white man. They have forgotten mama screwed them up. And grandmama, mama is the queen of death. Because her anger brings nothing but death to the children. And you let these people in your government, it's only gonna get worse until you overcome the fear and show them love by telling them, I ain't your problem. And don't be afraid to disagree with them. And if they want to fight, put them in jail. They love the jail anyway. Put them in jail. Put them in jail. That's all. Okay. You hit me, you going to jail. And throw away the key. 888-7753. 773-888-77. Jesse, it's a spiritual battle. And black people, you need to drop your anger and become an individual. Stop being into your blackness and blaming others. Back in a moment. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't wanna be angry. You wanna speak up, you wanna disagree with what's going on, it's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear, you won't have doubt, you won't have worry. All right, folks, gold prices are going up. And for a while now, I've been encouraging you along with GoldCo to invest in gold. Remember a couple months ago, gold was really low. I was like, hey, get your gold. Hurry, hurry, hurry. It's not too late because it's going to go up some more and more and more. Oh, the gold going up. And I encourage you to check it out for yourself. Gold prices are going up. And so, as I encourage you to take care of your spiritual self, you need to take care of your financial self as well. Invest in gold. And for my listeners, for the Jasmine Lee Pearson Show, GoldCo and I have a special promo for my listeners. Qualified accounts receive a 10% instant match in bonus silver. You can't go wrong with the gold, folks. You can hold on to gold all your life. Pass it on to your children and on to their children and their children. It's still going to be of value, great values. All right, so we have a special promo for my listeners. Qualified accounts receive a 10% in instant match bonus silver. And so I recommend you learn more about it. It's not too late, even though the gold going up. Go to JesseLovesGold.com. JesseLovesGold.com or visit 855-644-GOLD. 855-644-GOLD. If you don't take care of you, who will? GoldCo will. Check them out.
When you will come my way, when you will come my way, I risk my heart each day for you to come my way. Love comes in many ways.
It is Black Friday. Welcome back. 888-7753. 773-888-77 Jesse. The Hake Report is coming up at 9 a.m. After my show, and James Hake, you white, he's on fire. The guy with the good hair at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then at 11 a.m., brand new episode of The Fallen State.tv. The Fallen State.tv. She's back. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
She is back. The last time you were here, you had founded a group called the Slut Walks.
Yes, times changed.
Right.
I was a brainwashed feminist because I thought I was doing the right thing, and I realized over time that I wasn't.
Trump is daddy.
And it feels like daddy is home. I feel so safe with him in office.
Absolutely. Which is worse, abortion or slavery?
Oh my God. You just want the internet to eat me up, huh, Justin?
Amazing. Amber Rose is back on the FallenState.tv. She's a former feminist who now identifies as a conservative. It was a very, very, very interesting discussion. And you can change if you want. It shows that you can change. And you can support the Fallen State right there, too. You can become a member and everything. The FallenState.tv/donate or locals.com. And then at 12 noon, right after the FallenState.tv, the American Anchor Baby on Rumble. You got to know how to rumble. Oh, yeah. Energy everywhere. Y'all thought Donald Trump, God had given all the energy to Donald Trump. Nope. He gave some to the anchor baby. Really. Amazing. At 12 noon on rumble.com. And then all of you are invited to the fellowship, Bond Fellowship, at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Doors open at 10:30. Come on down. All are invited. RebuildingTheMan.com/church if you can't make it in. RebuildingTheMan.com. You can watch it live there. All right? I want to give you another quick example of the problem with the blacks. It has nothing to do with anything else. It ain't about the KKK. It ain't about slavery. It's zero about slavery. It's zero about the lack of finance because of slavery. It's not the white man's fault or anybody else's fault, but the adult individual, because they will not take responsibility and overcome their anger. And they are being allowed to destroy our country. My country will never come back because you're putting these people in positions that they should not and cannot handle. I believe this next person, if somebody don't help her overcome her anger, I wouldn't trust being around her, because angry people, mind can snap at any point because they're already living in an illusion. And this female here is on an ego trip like I never seen other than Maxine Waters. And then that woman with no hair on her head. And then Sheila Jackson Lee, but she dead. She dead. And then the other black women. This one here is dangerous. Not in a good way. What you don't know, when you have anger, you're separated from the light, the Spirit of God, and you cannot see. But you don't even know that you cannot see because you think what you're seeing is real, and it's not. And this woman, if somebody don't pull her coattail and say, hey, you better calm down, she can snap and do crazy stuff. This is Jasmine Crockett. She said that Trump, according to this report, she said Trump team need a black woman in the room. Watch this from X.
Then y'all want to come at us and act like people of color are the problem or that women are the problem? Like, baby, you probably need a good black woman in the room who can check you and tell you that, first of all, you shouldn't be doing this on Signal or anything else.
This is in our government. Think about that. And this is in the so-called representative in the Democratic Party. Now, do you believe me when I tell you the Democrats ain't never coming back? These same kind of females destroyed the family. They destroyed the children, the boys and the girls. And they made the children think that it was their father, or it was slavery, or it was the white man, or Jim Crow, or the KKK. They don't tell you that the spirit that is driving them, the evil spirit, is what destroying everything. Look at this woman's eyes. She's insane. An angry person is a murderer. An angry person cannot be trusted, folks. This one here is insane. And she's getting worse because nobody's stopping her. She even said that, in referring to the governor of Texas, she called his wheelchair Hot Wheels or something. Watch this from Fox 7, Austin.
Dallas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett is being called out by other elected officials for her comments last Saturday at a human rights campaign event.
Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot mess.
Referring to Governor Greg Abbott as Hot Wheels. Abbott was partially paralyzed when a tree fell on him decades ago.
Hey, I'm going to move on.
There is no love in the blacks. Zero love. Except for those black men and women who have started to wake up. They can see that their hearts are evil, and they go and forgive their mothers and fathers, and they're starting to change. But that's a handful. America is in trouble by allowing these people to take over America. These people do not know how to run anything. It's not in them. They don't have the talent. They don't have the know-how, nor do they have the desire to learn because they get a thrill of being nasty and evil like this. This woman getting a thrill right now. It's a false sense of life, and it's a thrill that only leads to destruction because it's not going to make her life work better at all. And the angrier she is, the more thrill she's going to need. And that means that she's going to be on a warfare to destroy every soul that she can run into, even other black people. She claims she never referenced Governor Abbott's condition. Fox 7, watch this, Austin.
I spoke to Crockett Tuesday. She had this to say, quote, I said that he was a hot expletive mess, referencing his terrible policies. Never at any time did I reference his condition. I am even more appalled that the people that unequivocally support Trump, who is known for racially insensitive nicknames and mocking the uniquely abled, are outraged. Keep this energy up for all people, not just your political adversaries.
Amazing, huh? One thing that I do know without a doubt about the blacks in government and in white people schools and white people businesses, the whole purpose is to degrade the white people as much as possible. As much as possible. I remember, and I mentioned this before, I wasn't even really into politics, but a little bit, and I lived in South Central LA for a while. And I remember when the wicked witch of the West would come home when they had a little break there in D.C., and they had this little community meeting. I went. I don't even know why I went. I guess I was identified with the Democrats at the time. And Newt Gingrich was in office, and he was doing his thing for America, Bring Back America, whatever it was called. And the wicked witch would brag at how she treated Newt Gingrich. I just told that white man, I don't care about the white man, whatever she was saying, and the blacks applauded. These angry black women and angry black males who act like their mothers get a thrill from degrading white people. They don't see that they're doing it to themselves. They get a thrill from what they're doing. And then the people they represent in their district applaud them for it because they too are angry. There's no love in anger. And black people, I recommend, do what you want. You pull away from these people or anyone that encourages you to be angry because they are controlling you by keeping you angry. You can't see what they're doing, if they're true or not. Their lies seem like true to you because you're angry. Drop the anger and see for yourself. And that way, you don't have to believe me or them or anyone. You would see for yourself. You really would. But you got to drop the anger. You got to forgive your mothers and your fathers. And you're supposed to love all, and it doesn't matter if they don't love you because you have love. You're of love now. And if you're of love, you don't need love from anyone. And when you don't need anything from anyone, you can be honest because you're not afraid of not getting or losing. Because in love, there's no fear. Perfect love casts out fear. And that was all fake news about the Great White Hope anyway. Why would Donald Trump need something like this in his cabinet, in his meetings? That's the devil. And if you notice with Elon Musk and his committee, I saw his committee, at least portion of them yesterday, all white men. I'm like, yes. And they are making things better. They are enhancing America, getting rid of the waste Black people ain't gonna do that. They love waste. And the governor in wheelchair, what does that have to do with governor functioning? Hot Wheels. Y'all, I'm telling you, I know black people. I know the mindset of black people. I know how they function. I know how they think. I know how violent they can be, how vicious and destructive they can be. And white people, you don't know what you're dealing with. Well, you probably know. That's why you're afraid of them. Well, most white people are afraid because they don't want to be called racist. But some white people know that these blacks are violent. Look at this guy in Tennessee. He's called himself a representative, Pearson, with African clothes on in America. And he want to fight. Who cares about his brother committing suicide? That's between his brother and their family, I guess. It had nothing to do with the government. And it's not the gun fault. But I'm just upset. Black people, drop your anger. You can prove me wrong. Drop your anger and see what happens. Just drop the anger. Give it a try. All we are saying is give love a chance. 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. The problem blacks are having, and to the black people, is Black Friday. Your problem is you. As an adult, and if you have children, the parents are responsible for the children until they become of age, then your responsibility ends. But as an adult, male and female, you and only you are responsible for you to live in hell or to live in heaven right here on earth. Lily is a first-time caller out of Texas. Lily, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi.
Hey, Lily.
How are you?
All is well.
This is my first time calling, so this is really new for me.
Well, welcome. Relax. It's just Jesse. And just relax.
My father was the person that introduced me to you, and I've been listening to most of your videos and lives for a little while. And
Lily. Lily.
Yes, sir.
We have a problem with your phone, and it's not clear. Are you able to speak directly into the phone?
Is this better?
No. Are you on a speaker or something?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to fix it. Is this better?
Yes, that's better.
Okay.
Are you on the speaker or directly on the phone?
Directly on the phone, sir.
Okay, go ahead. Right now you're fine. Speak right into it.
This is the first time that I've ever attempted to try to call you.
Okay.
And my dad was the first person that introduced me to you, and I've been watching your videos and lives for a little while, and I just want to say that you've helped me with a lot of insight on problems around the world and helping overcome things about myself.
Okay. How old are you?
I am 16 years old.
You're 16?
Yes, sir.
Amazing. Okay. And how can I help you today?
I would like to overcome some anger that I've been having issues with. Since I'm 16, I've been type 1 diabetic for about 3 years. And I recently lost my grandfather about a year ago. And it's been really hard for me. And I just I'm more angry than sad now. And I'm not sure how I would overcome that. I've tried different things and just don't want to be angry anymore.
Nice. And what type of things have you tried?
Well, I've tried to suppress what I'm angry at and tell myself that none of it could have been helped and that it happened to me for a reason and that God let it happen. Well, not necessarily let it happen, but he wanted me to know that, I guess, through the worst times, that everything will be okay in the end. But I'm just having trouble with myself, telling myself that.
Can you give me an example of what you're mad about?
I'm mad about the fact that bad things happen to good people and that it shouldn't have happened in the first place.
And so give me an example of a bad thing happening to a good person.
My grandfather that has had cancer for about most of his life, and it finally took his life.
And he was a good person?
Yes, sir. He loved everyone around them, whether they were good or bad, angry or sad, and he was always there for those people.
Amazing. And so because he was always there for others, you think that made him good?
Yes, sir.
And why do you... good people are not there for others. Good people leave people in their hell and let them suffer. But when people are always there for others, it's because they are not good and they're trying to make themselves feel good and look good by always being there for others, not realizing that they're using others and they're keeping them down by always being there for them. There's no such thing as a good person.
Okay, I understand.
I'm sorry?
I said I understand.
And so this idea that bad things happen to good people is not true. That makes sense?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Have you forgiven your mother?
I have forgiven my mother.
And how about your father?
My father is not present in my life, sir.
And where is he?
I'm not sure. He left me when I was at a young age, and he did really bad things to my mother and himself.
And why did he leave?
Because this has happened multiple times. Sorry, that's my insulin pump. My father had done multiple bad things to multiple women, and he just said that he couldn't do it, and he left my mother.
And do you know that he loved you?
No, sir.
He loved you, and when he left your mother and not you. And he left because he did not know how to deal with the anger spirit of your mother, because your mother was just like his mother. And all men resent their mothers, and every woman they get involved with because you're attracted to what you hate is just like their mothers, and they don't know how to deal with that woman, so they leave. And they love their children, it's just that they can't have a mother, and the mother's not going to tell the children, well, your father loved you, and when he loved me. He did not leave you. They're not going to tell the children the truth about that.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to find him?
No, sir. I've been trying to, but my mother has prevented me from doing that. So I
told you.
plan to find him when I get older.
Nice. Your mother's evil. She's keeping you from your father because she's evil. Can you hold for me?
Yes, sir.
Hold on. 888-7753-773. A quick break. Hate news, not the fake news. I'll be back in a moment. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. You know, freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free, just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing.
A whole lot of mess going on in the world. This is the end of hour 1 of the JLP Peterson Show. It is Friday, Black Friday, by the way, guys. March 28th. Is it the 28th? AD 2025. The lines are full. JLP will be right back to your calls. It is hake news, not fake news. Myanmar got an earthquake. It was felt all the way over in Thailand. A 7.7. That's nothing to sneeze at. Some people got killed, at least one person. Probably a bunch, because I thought I heard some people were missing. A skyscraper was in construction and it collapsed, and people may have been working and they're missing, or many are injured, like 50 injured. It's crazy. White House pulled Elise Stefanik, the UN ambassador nomination. Nice. I'm fine with that. Shout out to her, but nice. Commie Nonsense Network, CNN, is still talking about that Yemen group chat where the national security, State Department type, Defense Department, whatever people were talking about in Signal. They were talking about attacking the Houthi rebels on Signal, and some far-left liberal enemy of America, total sleazebag, according to Trump, I heard, according to CNN, got looped in on it. What in the world? And Trump is targeting the Smithsonian Institution as divisive. Sounds right to me. This is the end of hour 1. Like I said, JLP will be right back. Hang tight, callers, listeners, viewers, and supporters. We will be getting to your super chats as well. Myanmar, I guess is how you pronounce it. A 7.7 magnitude earthquake rocked central Myanmar today. Myanmar. Prompting panicked residents to run outside and away from swaying buildings. Imagine that. Whew. According to the United States Geological Survey, the powerful trembler struck at a depth of 6 miles below the surface of the earth, I guess, near Sagaing City, followed by several, at least a few, aftershocks, including one 6.4 magnitude earthquake aftershock thing, which is also not that small. It's not too crazy, but not that small. Can do some damage. The tremors were felt as far away as Bangkok, Thailand. I have no idea what the geography is, but this is like Asia area, where a high-rise building under construction, it collapsed in Thailand, killing one person, injuring at least 50 others. Additional damage reports still coming in. After more than 4 years of civil war, so-called civil war, Myanmar is one of Asia's poorest countries. Unclear how they will be able to respond to a major disaster on this scale. I'm sure the do-gooders will swoop in and pretend to be helping. What a mess, huh? The white on the inside White House has pulled Representative Elise Stefanik, her nomination to be the next ambassador to the UN. Feels like she would have done a better job than Nikki Haley, although how bad can you do at the UN? I don't know. President Donald J. Trump on Thursday stated they made the decision to pull her nomination to preserve the GOP's so-called razor-thin majority in the U.S. House of Representatives. Currently, Republicans hold 218 seats to Democrats' 213, and there are 4 vacancies. By the way, multiple sources said some members of the House GOP leadership were stunned by the decision to drop the female New York congressman. I didn't know she was from New York. A longtime ally of the president. She's an okay gal, I guess, as gals go in the so-called government, as they had already been preparing for a special election for her. What a mess. The top Democrat and Republican chair of the Senate Armed Services Committee have formally requested an inquiry by the Pentagon's acting inspector general into a group chat where senior national security officials shared plans supposedly about a U.S. military attack in Yemen on Signal. Inadvertently included a so-called journalist, Jeffrey Goldberg of The Atlantic, and he published articles about it, trying to get Trump. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 2.
stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53773. That's 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. And the biblical question for this week, a doozy, a mamma mia, what is evil? What is evil? What is it? What is evil? Amazing question. You can listen to the show, you can podcast the show, but let's say you're too busy to sit and watch it. You got to watch this. You got to take your children to the public school because you hate them and you don't love them. You don't want to stay home and raise no children. You want to go to work because you will be noticed more at work than you would at home. Your ego will be gratified. You get ego gratification if you go to work, but if you stay home, ain't nobody going to notice that you're raising the children. So how are you going to get the thrill, right? So you send them out to the public school. You could be listening to the show while you're outside waiting for the school bus or driving them to school. Really. By calling the listen line anywhere in the world, we're heard around the world. And for the flat earther, we're heard up and down the world. You can be listening to the show by calling the listen line at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to Buy Me a Coffee. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. This is Friday, which means it is Black Friday.
Got it.
This reminds me of the good old days. This is where it used to be, blacks. Out with the old and in with the new. Out
Black
with the
Friday.
old.
Black Friday.
We got everything locked up.
Black excellent
The
right
California I grew up in as a little boy no longer exists.
Black Friday. This item, resembling a noose, sparked outrage in Allentown when it was reportedly found on a city worker's desk in January. On
Black
Monday, police
excellent.
say they believe the person who found it put it there.
It's a lot like Black Friday.
Black excellence. A spiritual battle, folks. And black people are not going to change until you forgive your mothers and your fathers for not protecting you from mama and your grandmothers for not protecting you from your grandmothers. It's not white. It had another different color. But there are some blacks that are starting to wake up. They're in my meetings on Sunday mornings. I counsel with them. They listen to this show. And they just didn't know. They have been lied to and told that it was something else. So they didn't look at themselves. If you want to be free, you got to look at you. The kingdom, the freedom, the truth, the love is in you. But you got to overcome the false self, the anger, the imagination, and the emotions. I want to go back to Lily, a first-time caller. She's 16 years old. she has anger and she wants to overcome. And Lily was telling me that her mother will not tell her about her father, where he is. When you ask your mother about your father, what does she say, Lily?
She says that I shouldn't know, and she's told me some things, but she says that I'm not old enough to know all the quote-unquote terrible things that he's done. She's told me that he does drugs, has stolen money from her, and stuff like that, but she hasn't told me what he's truly done.
See there? You don't know his family or anyone in his family?
I knew some of his family. I know some of my stepbrothers. The oldest one is like 25 now, but I never get to talk to them.
Why not?
They never reach out, and my mom doesn't let me reach out.
Amazing. I don't care what has happened and is happening between your mother and your father. And your father may or may not be going through situations because he has anger too. And he hates his mother and yearning for his father. He loves you. I want you to know that. So no matter what has happened with the two of them, don't ever think for a second that he does not love you, because he does. That makes sense?
Yes, sir.
And he has to work out his problem in order to be free, just like everyone else. So do not resent him. What is it like growing up without your father? What does that feel like?
I have a stepfather that has been present in my life since I was about 3 years old, and he has raised me as his own. And
so that's cool too, but what is it like wanting your real father? Inside, you would love to know your real father. See, what does that feel like?
It feels like that I'm almost an outsider from the rest of my family, because I'm the only one that isn't related to everybody, and I just feel like I'm not part of it. And I have a different last name than the rest of my family, and it just makes me upset.
Yeah, I understand. And how do you feel about your mother?
I love my mother. She's, like I said, she's been there for me, and it was just us for the longest time. And honestly, I feel for the longest time that if she made the decision to cut my father out of my life, that it was the best decision.
But you don't know that. You haven't talked to your father. You don't know if it's the best decision.
That's correct.
So don't assume that, all right? Always have a way to see. There are two sides to every story. And so don't just assume, and it may or may not be true, but don't assume what your mother is telling you, that your mother tell you the whole truth about your father.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Have a way to see. So one day, hopefully, you'll be able to meet him and ask him what happened. How do you feel about you?
Can you clarify more?
How do you see yourself?
I see myself as kind of, I don't want to say an outcast, but it's been rough. And honestly, I don't really know who I am or anything.
Meaning what?
That what my purpose is, and technically what I should do about my family situation, because it's been like this for as long as I can remember.
And when you say your family situation, meaning what?
That I don't have my biological father with me,
yeah.
And that I'm not related to any family members that I quote-unquote have.
And does your stepfather know that you want to see your real father?
No, he does not.
And why haven't you spoken to him about it?
Because he would be against it as well.
And why?
Because my mother said that he was a bad person.
Amazing. And so you sure that he would, because he turned you on to this show, right?
Yes, sir.
So he is trying to help you. Why don't you ask him to help you find your father? You would like to talk to your father to find out what happened for yourself.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, ask him to help you find your father.
Okay.
All right. So are you doing the silent prayer?
I do when I can.
Okay. I want you to start doing the silent prayer so you can overcome the idea of anger. Anger is not you. It's a spirit that made a home in your mind when you became angry as a little girl with your mother. You start missing your father, and whatever you don't feel part of the family. So it's just an illusion. It's not you. So when the thoughts come about good or bad, or when the thoughts come to tell you that you're this or that, don't believe them. Do not believe anything that the thoughts tell you about you. And whether it's good or bad. And I want you to start doing the silent prayer so you can stay present instead of limiting your head thinking about the past or the future, all right?
Yes, sir.
So start doing the silent prayer and stop saying that you are angry. The real you is not angry. It's the false you, which are evil, the evil that made a home in your imagination and emotions. All emotions are evil. They're not true.
Okay.
Have you tried the silent prayer already?
Yes, sir.
And what did you think about it?
I thought that it is helping me, and that if I keep doing it, I will get better and overcome it. And I tell myself that I shouldn't be angry because of what's going on, and I mean, obviously, part of me wishes that things that are going on that shouldn't be happening is wrong, and that I talk to God and I tell him I understand what you're doing and I'm gonna get through it.
And what is it that you think God is doing?
I think he's trying to make me stronger.
By doing what?
By not necessarily letting things happen, but everything has a purpose, and these kinds of things that happen are obviously for a purpose, and it's to make people stronger and overcome and not let anger get to them.
And where did you get that idea that God does that?
That's what my grandfather has told me before he passed away.
What I want you to know, and without a doubt, God has nothing to do with what you've gone through and are going through. God does not bring misery upon anyone. He only brings love. There's not one, he doesn't take anything out on you. He doesn't accuse you of anything. God is love, and in him there is no pain. All of the pain and the misery that you have is coming from your parents being weak and not having love and guiding you in the right way. That's why you must forgive them. Their parents screwed them up. And forgive them so that God can forgive you for being angry at them. And he's going to draw you into perfect peace inside of you. And your purpose in life is to overcome the anger, overcome the fallen state. And you work on you by doing the silent prayer, watching those thoughts, speaking up, but don't be angry. And you will have a perfect life. That's your purpose, is to overcome that, to return to the Father, God, by forgiving your mother for turning you away from your earthly father, and forgiving your father for not being there to protect you from her. He could not help himself. Your mother's doing the best she could. She has no love. And you forgive them, speak up, and God's going to bring you out of the darkness of your imagination. Those thoughts are coming from hell and not from you. And when you drop the anger, the thoughts will disappear.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, God does not give misery. He doesn't, he can't, he won't, because he loved us. He sent Jesus Christ so we could be free. The real you is a free person. The false you is a slave, and you believe the false you. You believe the thoughts, you believe emotions, and you are identifying with them, and that's where the problem is. You're not your thoughts. All thoughts are all lies all the time. You're not your emotions. All emotions come from thoughts, the good ones and the bad ones, and they're evil. Don't believe them. Don't call them you. And I promise you, you will have an amazing life. But you got to stop believing the thoughts. Ask your stepfather to help you find your father, just to find out from him what happened. And you're going to see that he loves you, and you're going to be fine. But do not be mad at your parents. Forgive them so that you don't become like them.
What about my grandfather?
What about him?
You said that no one is a good person.
Right. Your grandfather did the best that he could do, too. And it sounds like he was trying to be there for you. Forgive him for mistakes he may have made, and he did his best. And it sounded like it was good that at least he was there to try to help you.
Okay.
So don't hold anything against him either. He taught you the best that he could as well. But don't think of yourself as a good person or a bad person. If you think of yourself as a good person, now you got to try not to be bad. And if you think of yourself as a bad person, now you got to try to be good. But if you didn't think of yourself as a bad person or a good person, you would never have a problem.
So is there a point to not necessarily bad things, but things happening to people is there a reason?
Yeah.
Like, what would be the reason?
They are angry and they cannot see. They are angry and evil is their God. And they can't see that because they have identified with evil by holding on to anger. They say anger is natural. Everybody's angry. And so they have identified with evil, and so they are one with evil, and God cannot help them. And evil causes you to do bad things to yourself and to others, because evil itself cannot do anything. But it make you believe lies, and it make you do bad things to yourself and to others.
So did I become diabetic because I was angry, or that I was angry with God?
Well, were you born with that condition?
No, sir.
Oh, it came later?
Yes, sir.
What did the doctor say caused it?
They said that it was possibly genetics, but there's no known reason why people become type 1.
Oh, okay. How do you feel about it?
I'm very angry.
And why?
Because I have to do things that no one else does just to keep myself alive every single day.
Are you in good physical shape? Are you fit?
Somewhat.
You work out and stuff like that?
I try to, yes, sir.
Okay. Here's what I recommend. And you're 16, so I know it's difficult. But from this day forward, don't be angry about the condition. It's enough to know that it's there, but don't be angry about it, because it's happening to your body, and you are not your body. So don't be angry about it, and do what the doctor say, I guess, to get well, but don't be angry about it. And I promise you, anything, it can be taken, God may take it away from you. But if you be angry about it, you are holding on to it because you think you are your body, and you don't have a chance of overcoming it. It's enough to work on yourself, but don't be mad about it. And don't compare yourself to other children or anyone else that has it or don't have it. Don't compare yourself. You just be you, dealing with life, and you'll be fine. But don't be mad about the condition.
Okay.
Because how can God heal you if you're angry?
He can't.
Right, so don't be mad. It's something you got to deal with right now. Okay, I got to deal with this, but okay. I'm not my body. I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to exercise. If the doctor's telling you what to do, if it works, do what the doctor said, but don't be angry.
Yes, sir.
Because you're not helping yourself at all by being angry about it. You're making it worse.
Okay.
That make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. So don't be mad about it. And don't look at other kids and say, oh, I got it bad. I got to do this. I got to do that. And look at the other kids. They're just running around having fun. Don't compare yourself to ever compare yourself to anyone about anything. Don't try to be like anyone. You grow up being you, and you will have an amazing life. But if you try to be like someone else, you're never going to be happy.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yes, sir. I think I can do that.
So drop the anger. Don't be mad about it. Don't listen to thoughts about it.
Okay.
All right, so do the silent prayer. Ask your stepfather if he can, 'cause I don't know what's going on at the end, of course, but ask your stepfather, can he help you find your father? You just want to talk to him. And if it's safe and all that, hopefully he'll help you find him. But in the meantime, do not believe anything you've heard about him and don't be mad at him. You have a wait and see
Yes, sir.
attitude. All right?
Yes, sir.
Amazing. Was this helpful?
Thank you so much.
Was this helpful?
Yes, sir, so much. I'm very grateful.
Yeah, so just relax and live your life. Drop the anger by dropping the thoughts, by forgiving, and you'll be fine, all right? Let me know how it goes. Check
I
in.
will.
Check in and let me know how it goes.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Amazing. Bye.
Bye.
888-7753-773. Let me go to Sweet Home, Alabama, and talk to Alan. Alan, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, listen. Jesse Leeson Peterson, how you doing, man?
All is well, Alan. Thanks for calling.
Dude, I reside. I was born in the same state as you. It's a beautiful state. And this is only supposed to be a shout out, but I'm going to go ahead and request. God made this happen, I guess. I'm supposed to be working right now, and I didn't know that your last caller, Lily, was going to be giving such a profound expression on what she did. And I would like to give some input from a father's perspective in somewhat a similar predicament, I guess you could call it. For her, I guess, a better insight to that, what she's experiencing, if that's allowed.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'll excuse me for the emotion. I didn't know that you were going to answer the call so soon. And to everybody listening, especially Lily, I really hope she is still tuned in. I'm going to start with, I am now 4 years and 7 months clean from a very harsh substance. Listening to you over these several years has helped me insightfully grow in a positive manner, in which being so stern toward certain things, but in that I realized that I had become weak given my ex-wife not wanting to reciprocate staying together as a family unit and getting our stuff straight so that we could get our kids back. She decided to follow the same path, and it just got worse. And I eventually had to come to my senses and remove myself from the situation. Hence, our oldest son lives with my brother, and our youngest has been adopted out. And to whomever may not be listening to this, thank you, because strangely enough, I thought it was really awesome, by the way, that he was adopted by a black family. And to be so fair-skinned and red-headed, like, my baby boy is being taken care of by people who I know will love him. So, in that, if Lily is still listening, things occur, things happen, and promises are made. And sometimes, like, when a promise is made, such as bringing a child into the world, it's not the intention ever by the parents to break that intention, to break that promise. And if you're going to be full of anger, at least learn to let it go, because when you become the emotion, like you said, Jesse, you become very governed by that very specific term, evil. And if it's one thing of anything of this material place, is that anything that is begets itself. So do not turn negative toward something that you aren't old enough to understand. And if your mom finds it at the moment, given your age, Lily, that it's not a good idea to find out who your father is. You're still 16 yet, so you've got a long way to go to figure out who you are. So don't worry about your purpose just yet. Just figure out what you want to do in being the person you already are. And like a flower from a bud, it blossoms and blooms. So when the time's right, you'll be able to find your dad and actually ask him the questions you've always wanted to. And by that time, hopefully, he will be remedied toward what ailed him. I honestly didn't know that was going to come out, Jesse. Thank you for letting me express that.
You're welcome. Amazing. Alan, have you forgiven your mother?
Yes, yeah. You touched on a lot of points when speaking with Lily. It's just a furtherance, man. It's a horrible misunderstanding from an early age in assuming what may or may not have happened, and going through your own things, and going through your own mishaps and misunderstandings and shortfalling, that you realize, like, your parents, with with a lack of understanding toward what made them angry.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
And once you're able, the individual, whoever you are, if you're listening, and I hope somebody knows somebody who needs to hear this and can pull it back for them. It's only you against you. The individual against the individual. It's the mind. The devil confuses us with words. And if you listen for God to speak, it's more of a feel. It's directly right there in the center. And,
amazing. Alan, I got to take a break because of time. But
yeah, do you think?
Thank you, man. You stay with it, stay with it, all right?
I love you, Jesse.
You too, buddy. Thank you. Bye now. Back in a moment. Out Punchy's coffee. I have my own coffee now. Punchy coffee is good. Every bag is roasted to order. Freshest flavor. Top quality. Specialty grade beans. Good. Every dime goes back to Bond, my nonprofit. And we are rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. So when you're drinking coffee and enjoying it, just know you're helping somebody. Amazing coffee. Punchy has his own coffee now. What the? And it's so good. All the way from the plantation to my own coffee. Who would have thought? Did that coffee come from the plantation? Did I pick my own coffee? Check it out. Go to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com/stores, and get Punchy's coffee. It is a spiritual problem, folks. Nobody is to blame as an adult but you and me and you. You are responsible for you as an adult. If you have children, you're responsible for your children up to a certain point, and then you let them go. And they are responsible for themselves as adults. You can be free just like that of hell. Hell meaning loneliness, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, worry, jealousy, envy, strife, false identity. The guys who think that they're females and they cutting off their body parts and wearing dresses. The females who think that they're males and cutting off their body parts, whatever. That's not you. It's the same spirit that drives everybody in the wrong direction and give you a false identity. And you must die from that identity, meaning spiritually, egoly. You have to let that go if you want to be free. You are not your thoughts. You're not your body. You're not your emotions. Emotions are evil. And the devil is working through people to tell them that emotions are good. Oh, it's not. Anyway, I do personal shout-outs. Birthday shout-outs, weddings, anniversaries, whatever the shout-out might be. Congratulations, encouragement. Go to Cameo, CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. All right. Cameo. Also, and I do them for people around the world, and they're amazing. Amazing shout-outs. Amber Rose is coming up today on thefallenstate.tv. Anchor Baby is on it over there, making it happen. Amber Rose is coming up. And Amber Rose was on the Fallen State before, and at the time she was running this group called Slut Walk. Slut! She's no longer a slut. And it's amazing to see the change. Watch this teaser.
Next time on The Fallen State.
She is back. The last time you were here, you had founded a group called the Slut Walks.
Yes, times changed.
Right.
I was a brainwashed feminist because I thought I was doing the right thing, and I realized over time that I wasn't.
Trump is daddy.
And it feels like daddy is home. I feel so safe with him in office.
Absolutely. Which is worse, abortion or slavery?
Oh my God. You just want the internet to eat me up, huh, Justin?
It was an amazing discussion when you compare the first one to this one. Discussion. You don't want to miss it. Amber Rose is a former feminist. And now she identifies as a conservative. You can change if you want for it. You don't have to live with your hell. But I realize most people love their hell. Do you know that most people would never drop their anger? You tell people, drop your anger, they won't drop it. They're like, what the? They're holding on to hell and calling it heaven. Amber Rose today at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And to the people overseas, international, we're taking international orders now for our merch. And to everybody and their mama, we have Punches Coffee. We have amazing merch now. Go, not just now, but we always had it. Go to JesseLeePeterson.shop. JesseLeePeterson.shop. And to the international people, we can't send you Punches Coffee. What the? Not yet. Maybe the Great White Hope will change that. But in the country, in my country, everybody and they mama can get Punches Coffee, and every dime go back to my nonprofit. We are rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man, bringing back God's order. That's the only thing that's going to work. The only thing that's going to work is the truth and the light that comes from God. All right? So go to JesseLeePeterson.com/shop. JesseLeePeterson.shop. And don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. We're on Rumble.com/JesseLeePeterson. Cozy.tv where Christ is King. JLP Talk on X and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Super chat. Super chat.
Super chats. James, yesterday, a late coming super chat with no message. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, James. Amazing.
Sion, 3 coffees. LOL.
Hey, Sion.
Jesse, you're too cute and funny when you sit there and listen to people's problems without judgment. Aw. Heart eyes. Light skin, black thumbs up. Medium blackness. I never liked the HodgeTwins. They're just ew to me. But you taught them something, hopefully. Just because everybody comes up with a podcast defending Donald Trump doesn't mean they're really for him and not out for their own fame, she says.
Amazing. Thank you, Sion. And yet, I was on the HodgeTwins show last week. Check it out. They aired it last Friday, I believe. And I've been getting hear a lot of people talking about it. So the word is out. The talk is on. Check out the HodgeTwins. Amazing.
Identity Christ is. Bought a coffee.
Thank you, Sion, by the way.
Thank you, Sion.
Identity crisis.
Christ
Thank
is. You. I've been studying hard.
Identity Christ?
Identity hyphen Christ.
Oh, okay.
Hyphen is.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I've been studying hard. I've been hard studying every biblical question like homework, waiting for the answer every Sunday. And so far, I'm 0 for 12. But I'm 99.9% sure I got this week's right. Fingers crossed emoji.
What is evil?
A human being. And what is a human being? Evil. Please tell me I got an A. Thanks, hands, crying face with tears, laughing.
I'll let you know on Sunday. I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday, all right? Amazing. Thank you.
Someone bought a coffee. I want to ask the BQ.
What is evil?
It's an illusion.
Thank you.
I want to thank you. I didn't know what my purpose on earth was until you gave me the truth, which is to overcome and return to our Father.
Yes.
Thank you, and I love you.
Right on. Thanks for your support. And I'll put my 2 cents in on the biblical question on Sunday, if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. Amazing.
And Gregatron bought a coffee. Jesse, you ain't right, he says. How you going to make Friday Black Friday? Triple question mark with quotation marks. How do you know which callers are black versus non-black? What about people like me who are white on the inside? Will you still take our calls first?
We're taking all calls. It's just that a lot of black people tend to think I don't love them, and I do. I love the blacks. And so we want to pay some attention to them because they too need to, if they want to be free, they got to take responsibility as an individual for themselves and drop the anger. because the anger is what's keeping them in the darkness and lost. And they're never going to be free individual people until they can drop the anger. So we got to work on the anger with the blacks. Don't you love the black? But we take all calls. We have Monday is Female Monday. Tuesday, Country Western Tuesday. Wednesday, Manhood Hour. Thursday, Baba Thumper Thursday. And then Friday, Black Friday.
And what about the whites who act black? Will you take their calls first, too?
Yes, if you act black. And what happens when you call them, my producer asks, are you black? That's how we know. And then he tell me on the board, they black.
Not allowed to lie.
But we take all calls.
What about biracial people? What about people with revitiligo? That's the opposite of what Michael Jackson had.
What do you call that thing?
Revitiligo? Revitiligo. That's what Uncle Ruckus had. He's actually white, but he just turned black.
Oh. Well, we
I don't know
take
if it's
all
real.
calls all the time, no matter which day it is. Thank you, though. Appreciate it.
Gregatron bought another coffee. Jesse, next time you ask Tony from California, are you black? And he says, I'm a human being. Ask him, what is a human being?
I will.
And see what he says.
Absolutely. I definitely will. Thank you.
Madeline bought a coffee. Good morning, Jesse and crew. What is evil?
What is evil?
We are. That's why we must return to the Father and forgive our parents, especially Mama.
Amazing. I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday. Thank you. I want you to know, folks, all people, you have no idea the depths of how evil you are. Every human being, me and everybody. Until you start to be honest about it in yourself and then start to overcome, it's going to blow your mind. There's not one that's not evil. But you can overcome evil with good. And good is not you. Good is not what you do. Good is God. So you can overcome it, but you got to want to, and you got to work on you. And your parents are responsible for you becoming that way, but you're responsible to overcome that. But thank you. I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday.
Another from Madeline, buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Hey, Jesse, I'm about to board a plane to Florida. The flight attendants, they black, but the pilot is a middle-aged white man.
Right on.
Little smile emoji.
Nice. Have a good, amazing trip. Take care.
Fred bought a coffee from Portugal. Presumably the Portuguese flag. We love you, Jesse.
Thank you. Heard around the world by everybody and they mama. And by the way, I counsel with men and women, family, individuals around the world by phone, Skype, or walk-in. Go to rebuildingtheman.com. We have the best counseling service on this side of heaven. Go to rebuildingtheman.com, all right, or call 800-411-BOND to request an appointment.
Someone bought a coffee. John 8:42. Jesus said unto them, if God were your Father, ye would love me, for I proceeded forth and came from God. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Jesus is the Son. I rest my case.
That's deep. I rest my case. That's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, someone.
Yeah.
Anthony on Cash App. Bond JLP on Cash App. Black Friday, good morning, JLP Show.
Morning. Thank you, and thanks for your support.
Thanks as always, Anthony.
Yeah.
Pastor Chatterley gifted 5 subscriptions to Jesse Lee Peterson on Rumble.
Rumble. You got to know how to Rumble. Thank you, Pastor. I appreciate it.
Philip, I bet y'all didn't know when God said, let there be light, Jesus was born. He says Jesus is the Son, S-U-N, / Son of God. What the? That's amazing. Add your 2 cents, says Philip. I don't know if that's fake news, but that's his super chat.
Thank you, Philip. Amazing. Thank you.
Playbiz 502. Thank you for helping me. Now I see.
You're welcome. Thank you. Was that fake when you said that?
Oh, the fake calling Jesus the Son, S-U-N?
Right.
I don't think that's true. I disagree, Philip.
Yeah, Philip just playing.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Derek? Oh, Derek, my producer, said he was responding to Philip saying, "Let that be light," and Jesus was born.
Mm-hmm.
And you responded to him saying, "S-U-N." No,
Right.
Philip just playing.
But right on.
Thank you, Philip.
And thank you, Playbiz502, who says, "Thanks for helping me. Now I see."
Right on. And thank you for helping us to help others. Thank you.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Me and Big Mama Michelle at the buffet. Hey, JLP, did you see on Monday USC's women's star basketball guard Juju Watkins suffered a season-ending ACL tear in the March Madness tournament? Why am I asking? I bet you didn't. Nonetheless, it was super sad to see. More sad, they had two white ladies struggling to carry 6'2" Juju off the court. They even almost dropped her. It was pathetic. What a mess. Reminded me of those little white women trying to protect Trump during his assassination attempt. What's wrong with the whites? Says me and Big Mama.
No, I'm not aware of that, but what? Nah. Whatever happened to that white girl that was supposed to be really good at basketball, and then the black women became jealous, and they went after her. And I know she finally caved into the blacks, right?
Yeah, she fell off. I think somebody surpassed her in scoring or something. She has big arms now, though. She has strong-looking arms. She went viral for her arms that look roughly as big and cut as mine.
Oh.
Which is pretty good for a girl.
Very.
Alpha.
I knew she
I'm
was
kidding about her falling off. I'm exaggerating.
I knew she would exist no more when she caved into the blacks.
Yeah, I haven't paid much attention.
Me either. I hear nothing about her now.
Yeah.
What a sad way to live.
Indeed.
But amazing. Thank you.
Natalie, happy Black Friday. Jesse, you are so wise and hilarious. And Hake, you're just adorable. Heart eyes.
with the muscles. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie.
Yeah.
Fazul, as always, Father bless Jesse and crew.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you for your support as well.
Gregory, Jesse, the HodgeTwins podcast was amazing. So much truth, I could hardly stand it.
It was amazing. So check out the HodgeTwins, all right? I did enjoy it. We had fun. The hospitality was through the roof. And it was amazing. And so I went in I flew up to Vegas right after my show that day. Went right into the studio and did their show. And we were going on for like 2.5 hours. I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta get back to the airport. So we ended the show. We went right back to the airport, made it right in time. So it worked out very, very well. Thank you. And thank you, HodgeTwins, for having me on.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Nikki, 5 coffees. Do you have a strategy to overcome stage fright? I've been invited to perform solo at a piano concert. Again, the silence and everyone staring are so overwhelming.
Here's what you do. Good question, too. The way you overcome it, you treat it in the same way you would treat it if you were just having a conversation with a person off stage. You and your friends sitting around and talk. And you're free in your speaking because you have no fear. You don't have this mindset that everybody about to watch me. I'm going to make a mistake. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You treat that the same way when you go on stage to perform. Don't have a mindset how things going to go. Don't believe the thoughts about it, and you'll be fine. It's the thoughts that make you think things are going to go bad, and it's not true. So just relax and go do your thing. Amazing. I got to stop there.
We'll read the rest later, guys. Thank you.
Oh, amazing. Thank you all so much. Let me go to Ronnie out of Ohio. Ronnie, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Uncle Jesse, how you doing today?
All is well, Ronnie. Thanks for calling.
Yes, sir. I wanted to respond to your biblical question.
What is evil?
The flesh.
Meaning what?
The flesh is evil. And I recall Jesus saying something along the lines of, if your eye causes you to stumble, cut it out and throw it away. Or if your foot causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away. Because the flesh has its desires, and their desires are in conflict with the desires of the spirit.
Amazing. I want to respond so bad, Ronnie, I don't know what to do, but I got to wait until Sunday. But very, very interesting.
Yes, sir.
Ronnie, let me ask us before you run. What is a human being?
I've heard you ask this question, and I've heard people answer it a similar way that I would, and you didn't really like it. I would just say a human is a person.
And what is a person?
I think you know what a person is. It's not a lion. It's not a tiger, not a bear, it's not a bird. It's a human. Most, not all, but most humans have 2 legs and 2 arms and 2 eyeballs and can speak. I know there are some exceptions to the rule, but they're still human.
Amazing, Ronnie. Thank you. I want yesterday, I believe yesterday, the day before, we played this soundbite where the black Hebrew Israelite, whatever they call themselves, they believe God want them to kill white people. What do you think about that?
It's sad seeing people twist the words of the Bible for their own benefit.
Yeah.
Sad way to live.
Sure is, man. What a mess.
Yeah.
Ronnie, thank you so much, and I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday about the Bible question. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Have a good weekend.
You too, buddy. Thank you. 888-775-3773. Albert, a first-time caller out of South Dakota. Albert, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse.
Hey,
Thanks
Albert.
for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
So my scenario or situation is I try to use less words as I can. As a child, I was abused, and then as a stepfather, I abused, and I went to prison for it. I'm off of parole and things now, but my issue is, and inside, God is I've always been, something inside is, from a younger age, I've always been aware, probably through catechism, raised Lutheran, but not Lutheran now, but as a kid, they force you to memorize scriptures, and in that process somewhere, revelation kind of like about Jesus, like, hey, this is true, on the inside of me. So that's kind of from a young age. So my current situation that I'm dealing with myself, I'm single, I'm divorced and single, and that letting go or forgiving myself of what I had done, as someone that looked to me as that father figure, and then I failed, most specifically. Yeah. And the fact that I thought I forgave, say, my abuser, or even my mom and dad, which are both deceased, I didn't really forgive them. It was just like a mental assent to the forgiving. It wasn't in the spirit. And I'm so grateful for your show, because I just started listening to you
Hold on,
a couple
Albert.
months ago.
Hold on, buddy. Let me take a quick break. One more hour to go. Back in a moment. Hate news, not the fake news. It is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy. They're miserable. They have rough lives. They're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.
a Trump executive order to end collective bargaining, which is a communist buzzword for union mess in the federal government, but not across the entire federal government, unfortunately. Just the federal government employees who work in stuff related to national security. You can't be doing your union mess if you're involved in national security. Are you kidding me? Selfish people. Anyway, J.D. Vance, he's supposed to take a trip to Greenland. Or some Trump administration people are supposed to go to Greenland, right? And there's drama about it, and it's like escalating. It's ridiculous. Shout out to Greenland, but their prime ministers are a joke, I say. That's my impression anyway. And Selena, we call it. She's Texas Mexican no longer because she died. Rest in peace. She got killed by a woman who was her fangirl. This was way back in the 90s. 30 years later or more, she was denied parole at 64 years old. The killer, the convicted murderer of Selena, this singer woman who sang in Spanish. Gonna maybe try again in 2030. We wish you well, and rest in peace, Selena. And single parents Megan Fox and her younger boyfriend, whatever he is, I don't know, MGK, Machine Gun Kelly White. They got a girl. They had a girl, even though they already have kids by other people. What a mess. China has a glacier. Did you know? And it shrank 26% since 1960, according to Commie Nonsense Network. It's climate change propaganda. Propaganda can be true or false. So I'm not saying that it's false, okay? But it's propaganda. And a MAGA voter got doged, and she expected better of Trump. These disloyal people, just because you got fired, federal employees, so selfish, right? This is the end of hour 2 already of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. The lines are full, guys. Hang tight, callers. Do hold on. JLP will be right back in just a few. It is Hake News, not fake news. After the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, thehakereport.com, live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific Time. No Joelle Friday on Fridays. The Fallen State with Amber Rose happening at 11 a.m. Pacific Time. That's 1 Central, 2 Eastern. And then American Anchor Baby, a special show with American Anchor Baby. Nice. And Commie Nonsense Network, CNN, reporting that Trump now targeting the Smithsonian Institution. He claims they advance divisive narratives, and that's a quote. In an executive order signed yesterday, Trump expressed his ire about exhibits featured in the Smithsonian American Art Museum, the National Museum of African American History and Culture, and the Smithsonian American Women's History Museum. He put Vice President J.D. Vance in charge of overseeing efforts to remove improper ideology. Nice. From all areas of the institution, the Smithsonian, including its museums, education and research centers, and the National Zoo. He also ordered the Interior Secretary to determine whether public monuments, memorials, statues, or markers have been removed or changed since 2020, with the George Floyd mess, Black Lives Matter insurrections, to perpetuate a false reconstruction of American history and restore the original ones. Right on President Trump. And collective bargaining. In an effort to continue reshaping the federal workforce, President Trump signed an EO executive order Thursday to end collective bargaining for government employees whose work includes national security aspects. In response, the Office of Personnel Management issued a guidance that said agencies no longer needed to collectively bargain with federal unions and may begin widespread job cuts. So cool. The American Federation of Government Employees condemned the move, of course, and vowed to take legal action. President Trump's latest executive order is a disgraceful and retaliatory attack on the rights, they say, of hundreds of thousands of patriotic American civil servants. So they claim. A third of whom are veterans nearly. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP. Hour 3.
to stand up strong. Ain't the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jasmine Pearson. Welcome to the third hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-7753, 773-888-77-JESSE. And my biblical question, what is evil? What is evil? What is evil? What is evil? Amazing question, amazing video there too. You can get involved. You can podcast the show if you're too busy. You can't sit and watch it. You can watch it later with podcast, but you could be watching it live. It's happening or listening or both by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. And to donate, have your comments read out loud, go to buy me a coffee. buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. It's Friday, and every Friday, because we love the blacks. We take all calls, though. All calls are taken, but we love the blacks. We want to help the blacks as well. Friday is Black Friday.
Black Friday.
Black Friday.
We got everything locked up. The California I grew up in as a little boy no longer exists.
Black Friday. This item, resembling a noose, sparked outrage in Allentown when it was reportedly found on a city worker's desk in January. On Monday, police say they believe the person who found it put it there.
It's a lot like Black Friday.
Isn't that amazing? Blacks went from amazing to mess. What a sad way to live. 888-7753-773. Let me go back to Albert, our first-time caller out of South Dakota. Albert, thanks for holding. Go ahead.
Yes. So the main thing I expressed to you, my biggest hang-up my whole life, in the past, believing in God or not, it was always mental. And so after prison and through prison and all of that, my failures, my identity, that's been the biggest grappling for me. Because I guess the enemy and myself in my mind, grapple with letting that go, what I did as to, and as a father, as a stepfather. I have 3 boys too, that are, that I'm not speaking of, and they've started, seems like God has drawn us back together again. There's a big rift, when I went into prison, of course, the whole family dispersed or was disassembled, so to speak. And so struggle I've had is with my own failures as a father, stepfather, and moving forward in that. And so I was just calling to get your input, because I feel like on the inside, God's kind of revealing, what I thought was forgiveness in my mind is not actual forgiveness. I realized with doing the silent prayer that, like you said, it's deeper. I didn't realize how deep it is, the depravity of the state, we're in. And so I am doing the silent prayer, and it's been really revelational to me. It's been really good. And but the biggest hang up is my own failures, as a father.
And your question for me is what?
Is how do I deal with that? In the same way, I feel like God said you have to forgive yourself, because you're blocking. I feel like I'm blocking my own way with unforgiveness for my failures, blocking the way, getting closer to the Father. And so
how old are you now?
I'm 57.
And how long were you in prison?
I was in prison for just over 5 years, and then I was on parole for another 5 years.
Amazing. So when you say you failed yourself, what do you mean by that?
Well, understanding in one aspect, understanding what a father is to be, and then on the other aspect, I didn't measure up. I failed, and I thought I was a believer when I failed before I went to prison, and so I hold my own self up because of my failures.
And who are you?
Who am I?
Yes.
I am a child. I am a child of God. This I know inside. When I get to my whole life in the past, just to tell you this, as a kid or whatever related to my abuse, I don't know why exactly, but up until just recent in my life, I've never been able to be in the now. I've always been in my thoughts, in the past or off in the future when I get out of prison, and in the past, wow, my failures, and I understood something about the now, but not how to actually be in it till I started listening to your program. And so I guess my question for you is, how do I deal with my own shortcomings as a man, created in the image of God, and when these other things come at me to, say, no, you messed up too bad, or those type of thoughts,
Right.
That's what I'm dealing with.
And so who are you?
Who am I?
Who are you?
I hear you ask this question all the time, but until you get asked it to you, well, I know I'm not my thoughts. I do understand that. When I go into silent prayer, and I guess that's who I am. It's hard to put into words, but just a lost person without God, and I'm trying to allow God to bring me back. So, who am I?
Yes.
I don't know. I'm stuck sometimes.
What the?
What the? I know.
And
I mean, it's been so helpful, and I thought this thing that I explained, whatever hangs me up, has seemingly been such a big thing. I'm like, oh, I'm going to try to call Jesse and get his input on that.
Do you feel guilty
So-
about anything that you have done?
Yeah, yes.
You do?
Well, that's a tough question because when you say feel, I feel like God is, even my time in prison and my time after, I've grappled, but there have been years of like silence, and I didn't mind it at all. I feel like God did speak to me, kind of like the silent prayer, without having heard you speak about the silent prayer. So, yes, I would say yes, that guilt must be there because it hinders me from going forward sometimes.
And why do you feel guilty?
For my actions, for my choices that I made that hurt my family, or
But
I'm divorced,
you have never made a choice, and you have never done anything wrong, and there's no
Yeah.
you to feel guilty. So how can you feel guilty when you have never done anything wrong?
Yeah, that's amazing truth that is beginning to soak in more in the silent prayer. And I guess on one hand you want to, and I understand that, and then on the other hand, your mind tries to say you got, huh?
No, go ahead.
Your mind tries to tell you, take responsibility for your actions and all of that, talk, but.
Do you
I do
believe that
understand.
God blamed you for anything that you've done? Do you think God blamed you?
I don't think that.
Right.
I don't feel that way.
There's no you, and everything that has happened through you because you had that anger and you were living in your imagination, which is evil, and that's why God said to overcome all thought, because you were influenced, the spirit of evil working through you, and you believed it, you thought it was you, and that's what made you do whatever you've done, but it was never you. And that's why when you drop the anger by forgiving your parents, and then don't blame yourself for anything because there's no self to blame, and you have never done anything wrong. So stop believing those thoughts. Do as you're doing. Stay with the silent prayer. Stay present rather than believing in those in your thoughts about the past or the future, which doesn't exist. Whatever happened then, happened then. It's not happening now. And don't feel guilty because you're going against God. You're going against everything that's right, and you're worshiping the devil when you feel guilty, and you're taking credit for something that evil has done through you, and it was never you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, amazing.
Because if you feel guilty, Albert, that false guilt, which is not you, going to make you do it again. If not that, something else. But if you don't feel guilty and you don't take any responsibility for it at all, but understand what was working through you, you will never do it again. It would be impossible because that false identity would disappear and it will have no control over you anymore. It was never you.
Right. And that really started sinking in when I started listening to you.
Yes.
But then to make it more personal, I needed to call.
Right.
And hear it in my own ears, in my own spirit,
Yeah. So don't believe those lies when they tell you, oh, that was you, and you're guilty, and you this. It's not true. It was never you. You're not your thoughts. You're not your emotions. You're not your body. It was never you.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, it's amazing. I really have no words, but I hear it. I receive the truth of it.
Do you believe that you which is easier for you to accept, that you are a sinner, or that all your sins have been wiped away?
The Christian political correct would be the second. I've struggled with back and forth. But now, right here, as I stand today, that my sins have been wiped away.
Absolutely. You have never sinned. It's impossible for you to sin. You will never sin. God has never held anything against you because he knew it wasn't you, but something driving you, and you thought it was you, and it made you do the things you didn't want to do.
Wow, that's wild. Yeah. That's how deep it goes. That's when you say, man doesn't realize how deep it is. And when you say that, I know people think a certain thing, but it's so true. Go ahead, but
Yes.
it is.
And never give a thought, not one iota of a thought, what other people think. Don't think about it. And because other people's hearts are wicked, and they're going to judge you because they're living in hell themselves, and they are one with evil, and they get a thrill out of judging others. So don't pay any attention to that. You just work on you and know that God is not holding anything against you. You're not a sinner nor a saint. You're neither right nor wrong. You never done anything wrong nor right. There is no you. And when you go through that false illusion, that hell of believing that it was you, on the other side of that, the ego would die, and on the other side of that, it's the kingdom of heaven. The real you will appear, and it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I appreciate so much your show and the input. I'll take that too.
Yeah,
as truth, and keep it and go.
Yes. So don't don't believe anything that the mind keep bringing up to you about the past or the future, what you did, how bad it was. It was never you.
Right.
It was never you. So let those thoughts pass, and eventually God, the Spirit of Truth, would take away all those thoughts, and you would be living a life of knowing God but not thinking about God. You'll be fine.
Right. Awesome. Thank you. And then, if I could, the question you had.
What is evil?
Evil is us thinking that it's right after the fall of the garden. It's the thought even that caused Eve to take that bite, and the mindset that, like we play God. We don't even realize it. Evil is anything we do outside of God's wisdom in us, God being born again, being saved. Anything outside of that is evil. Our mindset, our actions, even if we don't know it.
Well, I appreciate you responding to the biblical question, and I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday, all right?
Awesome. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I really do. And I appreciate the show, and I keep watching, and I'll stay with it.
You stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. And I promise you, if you stay with it, you are going to be free. That forced you, all those things you thought you were, all those thoughts that were driving you, and all the emotion that you had, it's going to all be taken away from you. That's what it means to die from the ego in order to live. You'll be fine.
Awesome.
And God,
thank you so much.
God has never judged you. He would never judge you. Human beings will because they're evil, so don't pay attention to them. They can't help themselves. But God has never judged you for anything, all right?
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I wish you well, man.
You too. Thank you so much, Jesse.
All right. Call me again.
I will. Bye-bye.
Right, bye now. 888-775-3773. Let me go to Todd out of Indiana. Todd been waiting such a long time. Todd, thank you for calling. Thanks for holding. You're on the air.
No worries, Jesse. I'm a huge fan.
Thank you.
The biblical question, I guess.
What is evil?
The Democrat Party.
What?
From Nancy Pelosi's insider trading to Maxine Waters to Joe Biden and his son. I mean, in general, they're just evil people. I had a question about a fallen state question that you had. Do we need more white babies?
Right.
Do we need more white babies? I'm white. I don't think we need more babies. I think we need less Indian babies in India. not here. You've got 1 billion people over there, and they're a third world country, and they just need less babies.
Why don't we need more white babies in America?
Well, I mean, I just think we need less babies in general, but definitely less Indian babies, less. I could keep going. Less African babies.
What's going to happen if we don't have more white babies?
Then they're going to be.
What will eventually happen to America?
It'll die out.
And are you okay with that?
No, I'm not.
Then why don't you have some white babies?
Because I think a population in general is a problem in the world.
No, just send all the illegal everybody back to their country, and we'll have more room.
Yeah, that's a start. I think we're unfortunately headed towards a new world order with the George Soros of the world and Charles Schwab. So
amazing.
These people are just,
Todd, thank you,
so much
man.
for your time.
Yeah,
yes,
thanks. I appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
All right, bye now. 888-775-3773. Let me go to Sandra out of Georgia. Georgia, on my mind. Sandra, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Sandra.
Yes. Just want to start by saying I love the HodgeTwins.
Amazing. It was amazing discussion with them.
Yes. Yes, I call them my boys.
Nice.
Yeah. They don't know it, but they're my boys.
Right on. Nice. I can understand. They really are. It was amazing. I had a good time there.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you about a particular movie, but the producer said I need to ask you first if I can mention the movie.
It's a movie, yes.
I can mention it?
Yes, if it's a movie, absolutely.
Yes, I wanted to ask you.
Ask.
Have you seen Anger Management with Jack Nicholson and Adam Sandler?
It sounds familiar, but I can't remember if I ever seen it. But it definitely, it sounds familiar for sure, but I don't remember seeing it.
Okay. Yeah, it's very interesting. But it is comical too. But
Jack Nicholson was an amazing actor. He was very good.
Oh yeah. So I recommend you watch that.
Okay, I will. I do remember it. That's for sure. Oh, there it is. I definitely remember that, but I've never seen it.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, it's interesting. But anyway, I wanted to ask you also about the do you know about the power of positivity or the law of attraction?
No.
The secret.
No, no such thing as positivity.
Wow. Yeah, because I've been studying it for a few years, and they teach you that thoughts become things, whether they're positive or negative.
Are you staying out of thoughts?
No.
You're not? Why not?
I don't know. I don't know how.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
Yes, I started doing it, but then I realized that I'm not doing it your way because I saw a video and I said, well, I'm not doing it like that.
Why don't you do it like that then? It's simple. All you do is sit still, relax, let your whole body just relax in the chair, let it go, and just become aware of the thoughts that crossing right there in the middle of your forehead. You know where the thoughts come and go? Just be aware of that and watch those thoughts. Don't argue with them. Don't call them you. Just look at the not you. You're not your thought. That's all you need to do. And the spirit of the Father, which is causing you to see the thought, will take them away from you. There's nothing you need to do. Don't be lazy.
But the power of positivity works.
No such thing. No, it doesn't.
She got everything that she wished for.
Right, but she's still miserable.
You think?
She still cry at night.
Yeah, she had a vision board and everything manifest in her vision board.
And she's still miserable.
Okay.
She has all those physical things, but no peace at all. I got to run, but if you want to do your little power thinking, you do your little power thinking and see how far that gets you. But if you want to, but if you want to overcome hell and live in paradise, you be still and let God take over, and He will take care of you.
Okay, live in the moment.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for the recommendation, Sandra, of for the movie.
You're welcome, and thanks for answering my call, and God bless you.
Hey, God bless you. Thank you. Amazing. Black Friday. Let me go to first-time call out of Florida, Michael. Michael, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Can you hear me okay?
No.
You can't?
All
right.
I do not hear you asking me, can I hear you okay? And I said no. And then you said you can't. And I said,
Okay, I got you. So I got a couple questions for you.
Yes,
One, do you believe
believe in life after love?
That the Bible is the literal word of God?
No.
You don't?
Nope.
Well, that explains a lot then.
What?
About the way you think.
Meaning what?
Well, you've said a lot of things. You talk about anger.
Right.
What do you think about righteous anger?
Human beings do not have it.
So what do you believe about Jesus then?
He's the Son of God.
Then where did we get the Bible?
From God, He gave some men some wisdom, and they sat down and wrote letters and to each other and to the church, and then somebody decided to take those letters and put them into a book form and call it the Bible.
Okay. So do you think hell is a literal place?
Yes. It's right inside of human beings, and it's working through human beings right here on earth. And then when you drop your body, if you drop your body in the state that you're in now, hell is eternal for you. There's no way out.
Is it possible for us to recognize and drop anger on our own?
I don't know what you be on your own, but I know that you cannot. You can recognize it if you can admit that you're evil. You can see that you're evil. And once you see that you're evil, then the Spirit of God will destroy the spirit of anger.
Okay. So
and the Word of God is in your heart, not in the Bible. The Bible is the
true.
Bible
That
is a roadmap that leads back to the Word. It's telling you where to look for the Word of God. It doesn't tell you that the Bible is literally the Word of God. It is not. It was just a message that God gave to men, and men told others about it by writing down, and then they told others. But then the people made it a Bible, and then they start worshiping a Bible.
So do you believe the Bible is true?
Not everything in the Bible is true, because the Bible has been rewritten and rewritten by human beings. So, and they're written according to whatever mindset that they were in or society that they were living in. But the real truth is in your heart. You can't go wrong.
So, well, I've seen that they've
hold on,
found the original manuscripts, and that they've
hold on for a minute, Micah. Don't hang up. Hold on. The treasure chest is now open on G Live, and I'll be back in a moment. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married, and the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good, or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't wanna be angry. You wanna speak up, you wanna disagree with what's going on, it's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear, you won't have doubt, you won't have worries, you'll be able to see, but you gotta stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger, because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature.
Groove with your nanny. Bust a move with your family, yeah. Get on the dance floor and get it crackin'. Okay. Feel it in your soul, then get into action. Yeah. You can't be waiting on the crowd to move you. You gotta hop up in the circle, then you grooving. You steady waiting on the remix. Boy, this is your moment, better seize it. So gonna cut the doubt, show 'em what you bout. You got the juice up in your pour now. It's JF.
Got a lot to do. What about you? What you know about you? What you know, what you know, what you know, what you know, what you know about it? What you know about the truth? What you know, what you know, what you know, what you know, what you know about it? What you know about it?
Oh, amazing, Joy. Friday TV and Isaac Palmer. Hey, black. Well, Isaac white. Isaac may think he black. Oh, amazing. Check him out, isaacpalmer.com. What?
I don't know if that's the true website.
What?
I don't know if that's the true website.
What?
What you just said. I don't want to repeat what you just said if it's the wrong address.
Let me hear it again.
Isaac J. Palmer on YouTube.
Well, Isaac J. Palmer on YouTube?
On Spotify.
What?
On Spotify.
On Spotify.
Isaac J. Palmer on Spotify?
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Isaac J. Palmer. You need to hear the whole song, folks. We were just playing a portion of it. Right?
iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. Check it out.
iTunes, Isaac J. Palmer.
Isaac J. Palmer on iTunes and Spotify. Isaac Palmer on YouTube.
At JLFriday.tv.
And that's Joel's socials.
Oh.
Yeah, this is Isaac Palmer.
Well, it's an amazing song. It really is. Anyway, the Hake Report is coming up at 9 a.m. right after my show at the top of this hour. And after the Hake Report, not Joel, theFallenState.tv. TheFallenState.tv with Amber Rose today. She is back. Huh? Complicated business. I'll come back to it. But she is back on theFallenState.tv at 11 a.m. Pacific time this morning. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
She is back. The last time you were here, you had founded a group called the Slut Walks.
Yes, times changed.
Right.
I was a brainwashed feminist because I thought I was doing the right thing, and I realized over time that I wasn't.
Trump is daddy.
And it feels like daddy is home. I feel so safe with him in office.
Absolutely. Which is worse, abortion or slavery?
Oh my God. You just want the internet to eat me up, huh, Jasmine?
It was a fun, interesting talk. It really was. It's amazing, too, to see a change in her like that. You can change, men and women. You don't have to stay in your hell. Amber Rose today at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And support the Fallen State. You can become a member now on YouTube there. You can also support it financially, thefallenstate.tv or locals.com. And then after Amber Rose on the FallenState.tv, the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby at 12 noon on Rumble. Right now, YouTube don't like him. They don't want to play. But they're going to play with him soon. But right now, they're not playing. They mad. They mad. The answer baby has too much energy for them. So you can check him out on Rumble. Are you on Locals too?
No.
Are you on Cozy.tv? What?
No.
D-Live.
Are you on D-Live?
I am.
Punchy.tv?
Are you on Punchy.tv?
I am.
Are you on JasminePeterson.Instagram?
Sometimes, I think.
And here's I want you to see a quick teaser from Punchy.tv. Let me not be. Oh, can we do that, Nick?
Yeah, this past Mondays? For sure.
Let's do it.
Mr. Krishan the Don, host of Misfit Nation.
Is Trump like really big on getting women sort of out of the combat roles or out of the?
I don't think so.
Not really.
It doesn't seem like it.
You got to stand against that.
They would try to kill him again.
Republicans would turn against him.
See, that's
It's the real conspiracy.
Would you sign a prenup to protect yourself if you're a billionaire and you're married?
If I had $1,000, I would get a prenup.
$1,000?
Absolutely, especially if she wasn't there to help me build it.
Why doesn't she get half? Why didn't she deserve half?
If you divorce, then she doesn't deserve anything.
Oh.
It is.
Hate said he would get a prenup if he had $1,000. What beta?
I thought that was alpha.
It's gonna cost you $1,000 to have the prenup written up.
I'll do my own cheap one
on Google. Amazing.
I'll ask Nick how to do it.
And so he'll figure it out on Google. He learned how to fly.
Indeed.
From Google. Isn't that amazing?
Shout out.
Fly. Nick, are you still flying on your show?
No.
Beta.
Yeah, you got to fix that.
Yeah, something wrong with that. But anyway, Sunday morning fellowship for all, right? Go to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com/church, or come on down if you're in the LA area, anywhere you want to visit, come on down. Doors open at 10:30, and fellowship starts at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Let me go quickly back to Jonathan, a first-time caller out of...
Andrew.
Huh?
Andrew.
There's no Andrew.
Andrew was on hold, but I think he must have dropped.
Oh, Andrew's gone? Was it Andrew?
Yep.
It wasn't Michael from Florida?
Andrew from Florida.
It was Michael. There was no Andrew.
Okay.
Everybody ain't named Andrew, James.
You might be right.
Michael. Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah.
No.
Was I talking to you?
Yes, you were.
Okay. Thank you, man. Huh?
No problem.
I guess I'm going crazy.
Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Thank you for holding, Michael. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up quickly, but I got one more question. How can you be sure that your understanding of the word is the truth?
Because I can see.
Is it not possible that you might have a little misunderstanding of it?
Not at all, because I can see. And in seeing, there's no such thing as misunderstanding. Because in seeing, you have I or whomever can see have nothing to do with the truth. It is revealed to you, and you just live it.
Then why would God tell us to lean not on our own understanding?
Right, but when you can see, you're not leaning on your understanding. You're walking in the light of God.
Okay. I think I might have a little disagreements about when you say that our choices that we make are not our own.
Have you ever made a choice?
Of course, we all do every day.
And how do you make choices?
So I know the scripture, the Word of God, and I try to make my decisions based upon whether or not I believe it's according to the will of God or not.
How do you make choices?
I just answered your question.
No, you didn't. How do you make choices?
So you just do.
How? How now, brown cow? How do you make choices, Michael?
I said I know what the scripture says, what the Word of God says, and I make my choices based upon whether or not it is pleasing to God or not.
How do
I don't
you do
always do that.
Why do you make bad? If you are making choices, why do you make bad choices?
Because we are sinful creatures.
Well, if you make choices,
Every
why?
part of us is sinful.
If you make choices, why do you make bad choices?
Okay, then let me ask you
so
this.
let me ask you this
Don't,
then. So
no,
like, are
don't
you
you
saying,
have to make a choice? Don't you have because you tell people to drop their anger, right?
Right.
Is that not a choice?
No.
That doesn't make any sense, Jesse.
I
It is a
understand because
choice.
you can't see. I know that it doesn't make sense. Common sense doesn't make sense to the foolish. Uh-huh.
This is wild. You've given me a lot to think about, though, for sure. But I do think that, I mean, it's an interesting question because when Jesus asked Peter, "Who do you say that I am?" and he said that you're the Son of God, he said, "Blessed are you, for it was not anything on earth that revealed this to you, but my Father in heaven."
100%.
So that's a very interesting question, but I think it
Why do a
absolves
but? Why don't you
us
leave it as that and not do a but so you can see? Satan
because I think
Satan got you doing a but.
maybe he does.
No, he
Maybe
does. He does. He like, well, what about this? What about that? And you're listening to him in your imagination, but you think it's you, and you think you're coming up with these but questions, but it's not you.
Interesting. I think you may have shined some light on a lot of my life because I've done this a lot throughout my adult life where I've asked these questions, but what you're saying is very eye-opening, actually.
When you stay with that and don't let Satan rob you from it, and you're going to get more and more understanding, and you're going to see that you don't even have real understanding to listen to. You've been listening to the imagination, calling it you. But understanding will come, and once you get understanding, it's going to be amazing. You will see that it's not you, and you're not in control of anything.
Do you ever have any sorrow for people who don't or not able to recognize the truth or see?
No. I feel nothing
even
for
if
them.
they're close to you?
I even my mama, my son, my grandkids, my great-grandkid, if they don't see the truth, that's on them. What the? I can't do anything about it. Why should I feel sorry? I'm not God. They have decided they love their misery. Leave them in their hell. I feel nothing about it. What good?
Part of me feels like it. What you're saying, and I'm going to put a lot more thought into this, but it feels like we're absolving ourselves from the sinful choices that we've made.
You have never made a sinful choice.
No, I definitely have.
No, you haven't. Something made it through you, and it made you think and do what you've done, but it was never you. It's something else made a home in you. It's just that you have identified with it, so you're calling it you because you have identified with evil. And that made you and evil one. But when you stop identifying with it, God will separate you from evil, imagination, and emotions, and he will destroy it. And you will see that it was never you. The things you have thought and the things you have done, the real you would never do that. It would never think that. It's never been you. You just think it's been you.
And you know what? Because I came up, I had an answer to the question of evil. And what you're saying, actually, it does tie into the answer that I thought of about evil. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. But my answer for what is evil? Evil is anything.
Evil?
It's anything opposed to the sovereign will of God.
Interesting, but you don't know what that is yet until you overcome the imagination. When you drop your ego, then you would know the will of God. But right now, you don't even know the will of God. You read the Bible, but you don't know the will of God. God is not willing.
So how do you get to know that?
Anyone shall perish. You get to know about discovering.
If we don't have,
you get to know about discovering the hell in you. When you can discover the hell in you, you will discover heaven in you.
Well, I recognize that I'm an evil person. That we're all evil.
No,
I recognize that.
And so what are you doing about it?
You have to accept that Jesus paid the price for your sins and wash them away.
What are you doing about the hell that's in you?
Well, I'm talking to you right now about it.
What are you doing about it? All you're doing is talking about it. That ain't going to help. What are you doing about the hell that's in you? You see how evil you are?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing about it?
I guess I haven't done anything about it.
And why not?
Because I don't have the ability to make the choice on my own.
But I thought you did make choices, you said. You said you made decisions.
But then you said,
why don't you
yes,
make
but you said,
why don't
you
you make
we didn't have that ability.
You don't.
Right?
So you don't, but you think you do. So why don't you make the decision and overcome your hell?
I wish I could. I want to.
You can't.
But we don't have the ability to make choices, remember?
But you thought you did. You said you did.
Yeah. Well, that's what I thought. So this is getting really confusing now.
You can't make the decision to overcome your hell, but you can see the hell in you. And when you see it, it's God who is allowing you to see it, and he will take you through it, get rid of it, and you'll be in paradise right here on earth.
So there's no paradise after we die?
The way you drop your body, if you drop your body in paradise, you're going to stay in paradise. But if you drop your body in the darkness of hell, your imagination, your anger, your emotions, you're going to stay there. It's all depending on how
where do you think this place is that Jesus said he goes to prepare a place?
It's in us and above. Michael, here's what I recommend. Do my silent prayer. And I want you to call, because of time, I got to go. But are you familiar with the silent prayer?
I saw something about it today, but I'm not sure.
Do it.
I was going to look more into it.
Yeah, rebuildingtheman.com/prayer. Do your little hoobah and holler and carry it on. Oh, Lord, please.
I do not.
And
No.
Jesus, help me. And Jesus, save me. And Jesus. Do that and then be still and know God.
Okay.
Give this silent prayer a chance and let me know what you think.
Okay.
All I'm asking that you give life a chance.
Absolutely.
Let me know, Michael.
All right.
All right, buddy. Super chat. Super.
Super chats.
Over on buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Just a guy, 10 coffees, very generous. I'm 31, a single guy who's never married, no kids, facing a lot of social and parental pressure to get married. Talk to a lot of women, but my dating life stinks. He said sucks, but I don't say that. Recently, you said men are not supposed to be thinking about women. I can't stop thinking about women in marriage. I don't know what else to think about if I'm not supposed to think about women outside of practical thinking. What should I think about? Seeking your advice since I've been struggling with this for years.
You should only think about God, seeking the truth, seeking the kingdom of heaven. That should be the only thing on your mind, and then all will be added unto you. Because if thinking about a woman or thinking about getting married, you're going to end up with one, but it's going to be nothing but hell, because that is your God. That's where your mind is. You should only think about God. God is an expert when it comes to dating. He has an amazing dating service, and he will always, if it's meant to be for you, he will give you the right woman. But do not think on that. Whatever so is a man thinking, so as he is. Only think on the truth. Seek first the kingdom of God, his right way, and everything will be added unto you, and it will be amazing. It will be perfect. Thank you.
Jason on Cash App. Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you, Jason.
Taylor. Rest in peace, George Foreman. Why, George Law? Why?
May George Foreman rest in peace. Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank
Amen. You cannot see me. Black people are really creepy, Jesse.
What's wrong with the blacks? This is Black Friday.
Joey Joe. Hey, Jesse, question. Did James Hake blush when he saw Amber Rose live in studio during the Fallen State episode?
Oh, my God. You
I know,
that's seen him.
That's his girl.
You should have seen him. Oh, my God. He turned pink, red, blue, yellow, every color. No, I'm just playing. I don't even know if you... Did you go in the studio and see her?
I missed it. I was out.
Oh, you were out that day?
It was late.
Oh, he was late. Oh, yeah. We taped the late Fallen State that day, and he wasn't here. So, no.
I'm not that into her.
Yeah, right.
Paola says, Happy Black Friday, Black Heart emoji.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Paola.
Yeah.
Stephen from Rotterdam, the Netherlands. Shh. Can you hear it? It's the sound of silence. Love y'all. Don't be a beta.
Don't be a beta. Be an alpha male, not a beta male. Amazing.
Pastor Shadowley, we do a little cooning. It's called We Do a Little Cooning. Raccoon emoji.
I love the coon. Coon Derek. Coon Jesse. Coon any black person that become an individual person. Amazing. Thank you.
Tristan J on Cash App, no message.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jesus, as well. Eric bought 5 coffees. Jesse, can you get so-and-so on the Fallen State an author?
Send it to producer at thefallenstate.tv. Producer at thefallenstate.tv. Thank you.
Renesio. Jesse, I know how you feel and think about dogs, but I saw a cat last and he moo. Get a smart dog like the one that lead the blind.
What?
Dogs are better than cats, I think, is what he's saying. Perhaps.
Thank you.
Thank you, Renesio.
I don't think men have cats, right? A man should never have a cat.
Whoa.
A man should never have a small dog. A man should never have a cat. A man should never have a poodle.
Can a family have a cat?
A family can, yeah, become most. If
Or a
a
couple?
family got, mama got it. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Renesio, who also says, Jesse, some Jap or Chinese call me racist. I could not tell Asian he was, but let bygones be bygones.
That's right. Amazing. Thank you.
Jessica, answer to the biblical question.
What is evil?
Evil is anger. I've noticed that any time evil is present, anger is always the beginning of the thought that provokes the action.
Yeah. But I'll put my 2 cents in Sunday. Amazing. Thank you.
Marty, have a great weekend. JLP and crew, love you guys.
Thank you, and thank you for your support.
R1, a human being is a creature created in the image of God.
Amazing. No one can tell me what a human being is, and I'm stunned. Because I thought everyone knew it. I thought I knew, but I don't even know what it is. And then I asked the question, nobody knows. But everyone assumes they know what it is. Like they assume that they know God. And they know the Word of God because they read the Bible. Oh, amazing. Thank you.
Aaron G, is Jesus pointing out that sin begins in the heart when he says if your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away? It doesn't seem like our limbs can sin on their own, LOL.
That's a good point. Your limbs cannot sin on their own. What the? A body is just a body. It's just a building, and the building cannot sin. Amazing. Thank you.
Kevin 211 5 coffees. Could you tell me when Bond started recording Sunday Fellowship? How far back can I go? Because I find them very helpful. Thanks, Hank, and Jesse and all.
A long time. What, 35 years, right?
Yeah. Although the recordings, I don't know if we have access to all those.
Oh yeah, a long time ago we just were able to record them because they didn't have YouTube, and then they came with those big old CDs.
Yeah, we audio recorded some, maybe way back.
Yeah, but forever. Thank you.
But I think we restarted video recording 07. That's as far back as I have in the Bond archive. But we do have some 1990 stuff. Miguel. Thank you, Jesse, for being you.
Thank you. And thanks for your support.
Amban Art, open your GPS and look at the world, people. Get a visual sense of where countries are. It's good for you.
It sure is. I looked at the thing yesterday and I'm like, what the?
Chris.
It was nice.
Super. Thank you, Chris.
Super chat.
God Pig says noob with a sticker.
God Pig? Mm-hmm. Are they up or something?
I don't know.
Thank you.
Cesar, listeners, don't forget to donate to Bond so Bond can continue helping those who need it. Also, you told Harpo to beat me. Happy Black Friday.
Thank you for reminding them. Go to rebuildingtheman.com/donate. Rebuildingtheman.com/donate or call 800-411-BOND. 800-411-2663.
Danny, all right, Jesse and the lads. I've noticed speaking in tongues nonsense quite popular. That's all I hear from the female crooked when she opens her mouth. Makes the same sense.
Right on. I'm out of time.
We'll read the rest of them Monday, guys. Thank you.
I'm trying to get through them all, but time won't last. Jonathan from Northern Ireland. Heard about Ireland, right?
Yes.
Ireland. And then another Jonathan from Florida. First time caller. And then Mitt from Australia, heard around the world by everybody and Bay Mama, if you're black. Everybody and their mama, if you're white. The hate report coming up now. And then the fatherstate.tv with Emma Rose at 11 a.m. And then the American Anchor Babe at 12 on what's that thing called? Rumble. What?
American Anchor Baby.
And I'll see you on Sunday, rebuildingtheman.com/church. And come on down, all right? Thank you for your super chats and everything. Bye. Steve, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. You know, freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free, just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing. Check out my book, For Raised to Responsibility. I show you how I was able to overcome anger. The spirit of anger was taken away from me. I had it. And as a result of having anger, I was insecure. I had doubt, worry, fear. I was in a fallen state and didn't know it. And it wasn't until I went and forgave my mother, who tried to turn me away from my father. I forgave my father for not being there and returned back to him. My spirit connected with his spirit, and through him, I was able to return to God. And I have perfect peace. Perfect love casts out anger. And when anger is gone, fear and doubt, worry, insecurity, suicidal thoughts, all of that is gone, and you are free. Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, or if you want an autographed copy, you can go to my website at rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-BOND.